So we're going with shoulder rolls. And then sliding them shoulders down and back, lengthen through the crown, lengthen through the spine rather, crown of the head towards the ceiling, taking it up into a nice full body stretch, keeping that core switched on, reach for the ceiling there, and then exhale, bring the arms down. Let's do a couple more of those. So take a nice inhale breath as we open up and reach, and exhale, bringing it back down. We're then just going to extend through the spine. So we're going to bring the hands to the side of the head, so double salute. Keeping tailbone tucked under, keeping core engaged. Just going to work the upper spine, so just take the gaze up towards the ceiling. Keeping the elbows out nice and wide. We're going to hold for 3, 2, keep the core switched on. Try not to let the ribs pop out. And 1, and then bring it back to center. Slide those ribs back towards the hips. Take an inhale breath as we open back up. Take the gaze up towards the ceiling. Elbows stay out to the side. I stay facing the front so I can see Kina if she comes in. And then bring it back to bring the ribs back towards the hips. Working some rotation now, so keeping those elbows out nice and wide. Hips stay facing the front. We're just going to rotate through. And then back to center. Here she is. Oh no, this is Kate. This isn't Kina, Becky. And then bring it back to center. And through to the other side. And then bring it back to center. Hi, Kate. Joining, you haven't missed much. Bring the arms down to the side. We're going to take it into our roll down now. I'm going to take my jumper off and get me warm. So arms down to the side. Take an inhale breath to prepare. As we exhale, chin comes towards the chest. Shoulders round forwards. Keeping that core switched on. Rolling that spine down. And we're going to flop at the bottom. Keep the knees soft, going down as far as the hamstrings will allow. Somebody else. Keep into that nice flop position. Lengthen through the back of the body. What's that, Kina? I didn't even know. Oh, it's Kina. She's in. Perfect. I think everybody's here. So we're just going to take some nice deep breaths here. Inhaling through the nose. Exhaling through the mouth. As we exhale, so you can go a little bit deeper into that stretch. Nice deep breath in. And then exhale, going a little bit deeper if we can. Feel that nice stretch into the hamstrings, the calf, the lower back. And on this next exhale breath, we're going to rebuild the spine. Take an inhale breath. As we exhale, scooping the tummy away from the thighs, rolling back up. Really stretching out through the spine. As we come back up to standing. Reaching the top, tailbone tucked under, shoulder roll, down and back. And we're back into our neutral posture. What's next? Change that legs, right. You should see the descriptions I've got for my exercises. We're going to do a nice little calf stretch now. So imagine we're standing on the train track. So legs are out quite wide, not wide, but just wider than hip width. We're going to take a step forward with the right foot. And then bending through that right knee, lifting the left heel up from the floor. We're going to stay bent with this right knee and just try to ease that heel back down to the floor. So it's a heel raise with that left heel, and then lowering it back down. So a nice calf stretch there. Up and down. Keep the stance quite wide for balance. We want to focus on that nice stretch. See if we can go a little bit deeper. And then hold that heel down and back. We're going to bring the arms out to the front, work some rotation. So the hips stay facing the front. We're going to bring the right arm down, rotate through to the right hand side. And then bring it back to center. Keeping that nice calf stretch in that left calf. And then take it over to the other side. Now stretch through the thoracic spine on this side and back. Let's do one more to each side. And last one, still stretching out that left calf and bringing it back to center. We're going to then work the other side, so switching legs over. So right leg behind, raising up through that right heel, so we're strengthening through this left leg, and we're just going to work that nice calf stretch. So just easing the heel back into the floor. Up and down. And then we're going to plant that heel down, feel that nice stretch through the right calf, bringing the arms up, level with the shoulders, shoulders down and back, and work that rotation through and back to center. And over to the other side. Perfect. Let's go for one more to each side, feeling that stretch into that right calf. And last one. And back to center. Stepping it back onto the mat. We're going to work some squats now. So feet just a little bit wider than hip width, warming up through the quads and the glutes. So hips go back first, leaning back and down. Weight over the heels and then back up to center. Reach. And back down. Nice and deep with that squat. And back up. Nice and slow. Let's go for 3 more. 2. And last one. We're going to take it out into a side lunge next. So we're going to step out, hips go back, bending through the leg, keeping this leg nice and straight, and then back to center, squat rather, and side lunge. So getting a nice stretch down that inner thigh, sorry, can't get my words out. So keeping that leg straight, feel that stretch. Back to center, and then step it out. Let's go for 2 more. And last one. And then we're going to stay wide. Keep that nice inner thigh stretch. You can bring the hands down to the knee there so you can go a little bit further down. Stretching through that inner thigh, strengthening through the standing leg. And then we're going to re-stack the spine, coming up nice and straight, bringing it over into a nice side bend stretch. So really lengthen through the body here. And then bring it back to center. We're going to do the same on the other side. Feet hip width apart. Take it out into our side lunge. Keep this leg nice and straight. Feel that stretch into the inner thigh. Hold that stretch. Strengthening through this leg. Hips back. And then coming up nice and tall with the spine. So the body's in line with the straight leg, taking it out. Lengthen into that nice side bend. Couple of nice deep breaths. And then bring it back to center. Well done. Coming towards the end of the mat, we're going to take it into tabletop now. So taking it up, tailbone tucked under. Nice full body stretch first. Take an inhale breath, hinging from the hips. We're coming down, lengthening through the spine into our tabletop pose. So feel a nice stretch down the back of the legs. We're going to hold for 3, 2, and 1. Take it down into that flock position again. Keep the knees nice and soft. Relax through the head, neck and shoulders. No creases in the back of the neck. And then we're going to walk it out halfway down the mat. And then bring the knees down onto the floor. So the knees and underneath the hips. Let me just check. No, Sheila, you're frozen. I don't know why, but it doesn't matter as long as you can see me. I just thought you weren't joining in. So wrists underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. Just going to do a few cat-cow stretches with the spine. So inhale breath as we exhale, chin comes towards the chest, scoop the tummy up towards the spine, tuck the tailbone underneath, And then bring the spine down. Gently squeeze the shoulder blades together. Push the back of the head up towards the ceiling. Gaze goes towards the end of the mat. And then back up into cat stretch. And back down into cow. Squeeze those shoulder blades, stick out the bottom. Let's just do a couple more. And last one, taking it up into our nice cat stretch. Scoop the abdominals in. And then we're going to come back to neutral. We're going to do a little bit of work on shoulders now. So keeping that core engagement. We don't want the torso to move at all here. So sliding that right hand as far away as we can, fully reach. And then we're going to take an inhale breath. As we exhale, core switches on as we lift the arm up level with the body, if we can. Inhale it down. Exhale, lift. Keeping that spine in neutral. You should feel that core switch on as the arm raises. No movement from that upper body. Gaze stays down towards the floor. Neck stays nice and long. Let's go for 4, 3, 2, and last one, arms going to stay up, level with the body, and we're going to pulse for 8, 7, 6, so you should feel this behind the right shoulder blade, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring that hand down to the floor. Bring the left elbow down onto the floor, and bring the left hand down to the floor. We're then going to step that hand as far away as we can, the right hand, and then just lean the body weight down into that stretch. So you can control the stretch into that right shoulder. Nice deep breath there. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Perfect. And then coming back up into 4-point kneeling. Same on the other side now. So wrists underneath shoulders, knees underneath hips, sliding that left hand away. Fully extend. Inhale, breath, exhale. Feel that core switch on to stabilize as we lift that left arm up and lower back down. That's it. Perfect, that looks good. So it's just a lift, exhale to lift, inhale to lower. Using that core to stabilize the spine, keeping spine in neutral. Let's go for 3, 2, and last one. Exhale, lift, 1. Arm stays level. We're going to pulse for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring the hand down. Bring that right elbow down onto the floor. Bring the right hand down to the floor. Walk that left hand as far away as we can, and then just sink down into the stretch. Bottom up in the air. Feel that stretch into the shoulder. And then coming back up onto all fours. We're going to do some plank walkouts now. Are we? Yeah. So knees underneath hips, wrists underneath shoulders, spread the fingers, put a little bit of pressure in the fingertips as well so it's not all in the wrists. We're going to walk the right leg out, left leg out, and then back in. Knees underneath hips, one at a time. So it's out, out, in, in. So there's no movement from the upper body here. Feel that core engaged as we walk it out into full plank. Keep those shoulders nice and strong. Bottom nice and low, level with the body. Let's go for 2 more. And last one. And then we're going to lead with the other leg. So bring it back, take it out, out, in, nice and strong through the shoulder. So the distance between the chest and the mat doesn't decrease. Let's go for 2 more. In. We're going to walk it out into full plank now, taking it up into a pike. So take an inhale breath here. As we exhale, we're going to push down with the heels, bring the head through the arms into our pike, into our downward dog, and then bring it back into plank again. So taking it up into pike, lifting the hips up towards the ceiling, and then back into plank. Working that core, keeping the abs on, and up. And back into plank. Let's go for 4. Nice upper body strength here as well. 3, hips nice and high, head through the arms. 2, 4. Everyone still with me? And back into plank, nice strong plank. Last one, taking it up. Hips up towards the ceiling. Let's leg raise, right leg lift up towards the ceiling. Squeeze that right glute. Bring the leg back down. Left leg raise, up we come, nice and straight. Push that weight back into the right heel. Squeeze that left glute. And then bring it back down. Coming down onto the knees, sit it back into the heels, lengthen through the spine, lengthen through the arms. Take some nice deep breaths there. Catch your breath, nice inhale breath, really stretch out through the back of the rib cage. And then exhale, nice exaggerated exhale breath. And then we're going to come into seated. We're going to work a mermaid stretch, working the obliques and a nice stretch out as well. If we can, sit in a mermaid position. So knees are level, legs are folded to one side, if you can see me. If that's not possible, you can sit with crossed legs here or legs out in front, entirely up to you. So if you can, sit in that nice mermaid position with the legs folded. We're going to take it up into a nice full body stretch, so reaching up towards the ceiling, spine's nice and tall. We're going to lean in towards the feet first, feeling that nice stretch down the side. And then we're going to squeeze up, bringing that arm down towards the floor, taking it into a nice side bend stretch, mermaid stretch, and then back up. If we can, let that hand leave the floor as quickly as possible. Let the obliques pull you through the centre. So pretty mermaid, I can't really see. That's it, that looks nice. So nice big stretch, and then let that hand leave the floor as quickly as we can. And take it into that nice stretch. So let's just do a few more of these. Lift. So when that hand leaves the floor, the obliques take over. So try not to push with the hand. Ooh, there we go. And then bring it down into that nice side bone stretch. For those of you that have not sat in mermaid, you're going to need to stay like this, because I don't think you'll have the reach. We're going to then bring the body forwards, bringing that hand down towards the floor, leading with the chest so the spine's nice and straight. Just feel that lovely stretch across the shoulder blades. Nice deep breaths. And for those of us that are sat in mermaid, optional little glute work here. We're going to slide the leg away, lift up from the floor and circle. Nice small little circles if we can, working those glutes, keeping that length in the spine. Let's go for 4, 3, keeping that leg up from the floor, 2, 1. Take the circles back in the opposite direction. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nice, well done. Bring that leg back onto the floor and sit yourselves back up. We do exactly the same on the other side now. So back into mermaid. So the knees are level if we're in mermaid. If not, cross legs, legs out in front, whatever's most comfortable for you. So again, taking it up towards the ceiling, really lengthen through the spine here. Elbows nice and soft. Leaning in towards the feet first. Feel that nice stretch down the side of the body. And then bringing the hand down. Bending through that that elbow there. And then remove the hand from the floor as quickly as we can. Some nice lateral stretching there. Ooh. Try not to push with the hand if you can. I'm a bit guilty of that. Bend through that elbow. Remove the floor, remove from the floor, that's it, there we go. Let's go for 2 more. For those that came in a bit late, this is a bit of a stretchier one than usual. And then taking down into that side bend stretch. If we are in mermaid, fine. If you're not, I don't think you'll have the reach there, so we're just going to fold in, bringing that other hand down to the floor. Feel that nice stretch across the shoulders. We're going to lengthen that leg away if we can, and lift and circle. Keeping that leg lifted up from the mat, strengthening the hip, the glutes. Let's go for 4, 3, 2, and 1, and circle in the other direction there. For those of you that aren't in mermaid, just hold that nice side bend stretch. 3, 2, and 1. Well done. Bring that leg down towards the floor. Coming back into seated. So it's a bit of a new one I put together yesterday. Right, what are we doing next? Seated, pelvic tilts. Right, okay, so sitting towards the front of your mat now. Heels down the floor, feet hip width apart, nice and tall on the sit bones. Again, lengthen through the spine. As tall as you can with the spine. We're going to bring the arms out in front, and then we're just going to pelvic tilt. So we're just going to roll to the back of the sit bones, really scooping those abdominals in, and then lengthening again at the top. So it's a scoop and a tilt, squeeze with the core, and then lengthen. So working those pelvic tilts, so it's not a massive movement. And then we're going to take it down into some half roll downs now. So it's a tilt, scoop, and just start to roll halfway down so you feel that the heels want to lift up from the floor, and then coming back to centre, nice and tall in the centre. Tilt and scoop. See if we can go a little bit lower. And then back up. Let's just do a few more of these. You can stay with this level if you like, if you're not comfortable with full roll downs, but for those of you that are on this next one, we're going to take it all the way down. So tilt, scoop, and just slowly start to place the spine down, using the core to control. Bring the arms over, don't allow the ribs to pop out here, and then exhale, arms come up, chin to chest, and peel back up. Try not to use momentum, try to use the core. So it's a tilt and a scoop, rolling down, arms come back, exhale it up. We're going to add some rotation into this next one. So same thing again, if we can take it down into a full roll down, arms come behind the head, exhale it up. As we reach the top, we're going to reach the arm away, rotating through the spine, back to centre, full roll down. Arms come behind the head, exhale, coming back up. As we do, hand comes round, out to the other side, lengthening at the top. Bring those arms back and roll it down. So the arm comes round and through, rotate, lengthen, back to center, rolling it down. Arms come over. Let's just do one more to each side. Nice bit of roll down work, working, articulating through the spine. That looks really nice, everyone. Okay, and down. Last one. Arm comes around, out, and back to center. Well done. So keeping that spine nice and tall now, we're going to bring the hands behind us, spread the fingers, take the hands a little bit wider than the mat. We're going to really lengthen through the spine, so chest's nice and proud, spine's nice and long, and we're just going to work some simple leg lifts here. So using the core, we're going to lift that right leg up into tabletop position without collapsing down the spine, and then back down. Left leg comes up, squeeze with the abs as that leg lifts, using those hip flexors, making sure shoulders stay down and back, chest stays nice and proud. So exhale as we lift, inhale to lower, keeping the chest up, keeping the spine long. So that's level one. Level two, we're going to bring the legs up into tabletop position, squeezing through the abs. We're going to work single leg stretch, so we're going to reach one leg away and then bring it back. Exhale, reach and back. Keep the shoulders down and back, chest nice and proud, and back. Work those hip flexors, work those deep core muscles. Don't round off through the spine. Level three, we're going to work a little bit harder. As the leg lengthens out, we're going to raise and lower. Raise and lower. So just take it at your level. Let's go for 4, 3, keeping that spine nice and tall. 2, and 1. Bring the leg back into tabletop. Same with the other leg. Reach, raise, lower. Raise, lower. Let's go for 4, 3, hip flexors on fire, 2, and last one. Exhale, lift, bring the legs back into tabletop, pop the feet back down to the floor, lengthen through the spine. We're going all the way down to the mat now, so take an inhale breath as we exhale. Pelvic tilt, slowly start to place the spine down. That seated one was extremely hard for hip flexors, so don't worry if it hurt. Lengthen out through the body, lift the spine up from the floor. Take some nice deep breaths there. Right. So then we're going to take it into scissors next. So bringing the feet up onto the floor, finding imprint, so sink that lower back down to the floor, so scooping those abdominals in. We're bringing both legs up into tabletop position, lifting the legs up towards the ceiling as straight as we can, grabbing hold of the right leg either behind the thigh or behind the calf. We're going to go straight to level 2 scissors. So dropping that left leg down, keeping the spine on the floor, and then bring it across. Adding in a gentle pull of the leg, so whether it's behind the thigh or behind the calf, it doesn't matter. Nice deep breaths. Really separate those legs as much as we can. Make it a nice stretchy exercise. Bring the head and shoulders if you want to add more into the core work here. So reach, reach. Nice deep breaths, really exaggerate that exhale breath. And then we're going to stop and hold. So working the hamstring stretch now. If you need to soften through that knee, that's absolutely fine. Keeping it straight if you want, if you're able to. We're going to push the leg into the hands, lifting up through the head and shoulders, elbows out to the side so shoulders stay relaxed. And then bring the head and shoulders back down. See if you can go a bit deeper into that hamstring stretch. Inhale, breath, exhale, pushing the leg into the hand, lifting up through the head and shoulders there. And then release back down. See if we can get a little bit more out of the hamstring. Don't worry if you can't. Hamstrings are often tight. Exhale, lift. And then see if we can go a little bit further. Bring the head and shoulders down. We're then going to switch. We're going to do 5 more scissors. So 1. Bring the head and shoulders up if you like. 2. 3, 4, and 5. Grabbing hold of the other leg now. Inhale, breath as we exhale. Push the leg into the hands. Lift up through the head and shoulders. And then release back down to the floor. See if we can get a little bit more of a stretch into the hamstring. Exhale, push. Lift. And lower it back down. Last one. Exhale, lift. And then inhale, lower it back down to the floor. Feel that nice pull into the hamstring, bend through the knee, bring the feet back down to the mat. Well done. We're just going to work a crisscross exercise now. So bringing the hands behind the head, spine stays imprinted, switch that core on, bringing the legs up into tabletop position. Take an inhale breath as we exhale. Head and shoulders come lift up off the floor. Don't pull up on the neck though, so chin stays away from the chest. And then we're going to crisscross. So right elbow to left knee, stretch out through that right leg. Inhale it back to center. Exhale it through. Elbows stay out nice and wide. So working across the body. And back. Lovely. We're going to stay up and hold. So elbow to knee. And then the straight leg, we're going to lift and lower for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Going back to crisscross again. So 1, 2, going for 5, 3, 4, and 5. Coming across, we're going to lift and lower for 4. Should be the other leg, by the way. 3, 2, and 1. And bring the legs back to tabletop. Let them fall into the chest. Bring the head and shoulders down. Popping the feet down, straddle the mat, keep the arms behind the head, and just roll the knees over to one side, keeping the hips down on the floor. Nice stretch through the waist there. Nice deep breaths. And then rolling the legs through the center and over to the other side. Hips stay nice and close to the floor. And then bring it back to center. We're going to come down into side lying now. We'll do a bit of work on the obliques. So we're going to come into one nice straight line. So bring the arm down underneath the head. If you prefer a little cushion there, that's absolutely fine. So just move my computer so I can see you all. So we're going to start with a couple of double leg lifts just to fire up the obliques. So this hand different, very little weight into this hand, just there for a bit of balance. So the hips are stacked, take an inhale breath, really engage through the legs here as we exhale. We're going to lift, squeeze those legs up nice and high, and inhale, lower it back down. Nice and simple. Exhale, lift, Keep the heels together if we can. Inhale, lower, work those inner thighs, lift that pelvic floor. Let's go for 2 more. And back down. And last one. Exhale it up. And inhale it back down. We're going with top leg only this time. We're going to bring this hand over the body. If you wanted to pop a bend in that bottom knee, that's absolutely fine for a bit of stability. So we're nice and long. As we exhale, we're coming up with the head and shoulders, lifting up through the leg and try to reach up towards the ankle. And then inhale as we lower back down into that nice long line. Exhale, reach. And inhale, lower. So we're really shortening as we lift this side of the waist. Shortening that distance between the ribs and the hips. And lower back down. Let's go for 3 more. Engage that glute. Lengthen that leg. 2. And last one. Keeping that core switched on, nice and strong through the core. Last one, reach. And lower it back down. Nice and long through the body. Bringing the head onto the hands if you prefer. Bringing the feet together. Feet in line with the bottom, so if we're along a brick wall, back and the feet will be touching. Hips remain stacked. We're just going to start waking up the glutes with a couple of clams. So keeping the feet together, keeping the hips stacked. So we don't roll around on the hips. And lift. Bringing the knees back together, we're going to take it up into elevated climb. So feet come up off the floor. We should be able to open up that hip a little bit higher and lower back down. Exhale up, squeeze and lower. We're going to add extension into this next one. So open the hip, hip stay stacked, reach away that leg, engage through that quad, feet and knees. So all the work's coming from the glute. Reach, imagine somebody's pulling that leg away from you. And lower. Up, extend, feet and knees. That looks lovely. Nice, Julie. Let's go for 1 more. And we're going to hold that extension. 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring the feet back together. We're going to toe tap, knee tap, so a bit of internal, external. So tap the toes, part the feet, tap the knees. Tap the toes, tap the knees. Perfect. You should feel it a little bit in that other glute as well, as we're elevated. Let's go for 4 more toe taps. 1, 2, 3, try not to roll around in those hips, and 4, nice. Bring the knees back together, bring the feet down onto the floor. And now for a bit of nice stretching. Give the bum a little rub if you need to. Arms come out level with the shoulders, have a little shuffle up so the shoulders are stacked, hips are stacked. Head relaxed. If you've got a pillow, pop the pillow underneath your head if you want one for comfort. We're going to take an inhale breath. As we exhale, we're going to reach the arm over. Gaze stays towards this top hand. As we bring it into a nice chest open stretch, bring the shoulder blades as close to the floor as we can. Really open up that chest, rotating through the spine. Inhale breath. As we exhale, use the core to pull the arm and the body back over and through. Bring the hands back together. Inhale breath, exhale, slide the hands as far away from the body as we can. Let's go for 2 more of those. So then bringing the hands back together. Inhale breath, exhale it through. Couple of breaths here. Exhale, bring the arm back up. back over, rotate through the spine, back to center, and slide that hand forwards. Bring the hands back together, last one. Exhale. Really reach with the arms, sweep the ceiling with fingertips, shoulder blades to the floor. Inhale, breath. Exhale. Use the core, really engage through the core to bring the body back through. To center, hands together, deep breath in. Exhale, slide the hand as far away as we can. And then bring the hands back together. We're going to do exactly the same on the other side. So swizzling around on the mat. Into our nice straight line to begin with. Arm down underneath the head. This hand out in front for a bit of balance. So hips are stacked, core switched on. Inhale, breath as we exhale. Double leg raise. Keep those heels squeezed together. Work that pelvic floor. And inhale, lower back down. Exhale it up. Wake up those obliques. Inhale, lower. Last one. Exhale, lift. And inhale, lower. Perfect. Bending through that bottom leg for a bit of stability. If you want, you can keep it long, challenge the balance. Bring the arm over the head. Waist lifted up from the floor here in that nice lengthened position. As we exhale, head and shoulders come up. We're going to reach up towards the ankle. Keep the top of the foot and the knee facing the front. Try not to rotate the leg out. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale. Use the glutes there to lift that leg up. Engage through that quad. Imagine somebody's pulling that leg away from you. Reach up. If anyone can reach the ankle, I'll be very impressed. Inhale, lower. Let's go for 3. 2. Really shorten that distance there. And lengthen. And last one. Exhale, squeeze. Hold. And lower it back down. And lengthen, well done. Bringing the feet together now. You can bring the head onto the hand if you prefer. Hips are stacked, feet in line with the bottom. Couple of clams just to wake that glute up. So feet stay together, hips stay stacked, and lower. Couple more, squeezing the side of the bottom there. And last one. Bring those knees together, elevate the feet, taking it into elevated climb, so reach up with that knee. As wide as we can without those hips rolling back. Let's go for 2 more of these before we add in our extension. And last one, let's add extension. So reach with the leg, bring the feet back, bring the knees back. So it's an open, extend, feet and knees. 3 more of these. Lovely, Kina. 2. Last one. Feel a little bit of heat into that glute now. 1. Or a lot of heat. Feet come together. Feet tap, knee tap. Internal, external. Internal, external. Internal, external. Ooh. 4 more toe taps. 1. 2. Lovely, Jill. 3. And 4. Well done. Hold. Bring the knees back. Bring the feet back down. Give that bottom a good rub. Well done. Same stretch now on the other side. So a little shuffle up to stack those shoulders. Hands together. Head relaxed down to the floor or cushion. Inhale breath as we exhale. We're going to bring that arm up and over, keeping the legs where they are. Open the chest, rotate through the spine. Nice deep breath in. As we exhale, sweeping the ceiling with the fingertips on the way back. Hands come together, slide forwards with that top arm. Just enjoy that stretch into the shoulder a little bit. Bring the arms back together. Inhale breath, exhale breath. Nice deep breaths into that stretch. And then exhale it back through. We're going to go for one more after this. Bring the hands together. Slide that hand forwards. Bring the hands back together. Inhale breath, exhale breath as we open up. Deep breath in. Exhale, bring it back up and over. Hands come together. Slide that hand forwards and just sink down into that stretch for a few seconds. Take some nice deep breaths. I don't think I'm going to be able to get through this. Right, bringing the hands back together now. We're going to come onto our fronts. I'm going to have to knock out a couple of exercises. I obviously underestimate how long it took. So we're going to come down onto our fronts now and do some ab pull-ins. So bringing the hands down underneath the shoulders. Now actually bringing the elbows underneath the shoulders. Let's go for forearms. So take the pressure off the wrists a little bit for this one. So shoulders away from the ears. We're going to just tuck the tailbone between the legs, using the abs, lifting up into a 3/4 plank, so up onto the knees, making sure that tailbone stays tucked under, and then lower it back down. So inhale, breath here, exhale, tuck the tailbone under, coming up onto the knees, and then release back down, keeping those shoulders nice and strong. So tuck under and lift, scoop those abdominals up, and then lower it back down. That's level 1. Level 2, tuck the toes underneath, shoulders nice and strong. Exhale, tuck the tailbone under, coming up into full plank, and then release back down to the floor. That's level 2. Level 3, we're going to come up into full plank, stay in full plank, and then we're going to bring the shoulders over the elbows, so pushing forwards, and then push back into the heels, get a nice stretch into Achilles, and then forwards. So rocking planks, keeping in that nice parallel line to the floor. So forwards and backwards, forwards and backwards. Let's go for 4 more. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then bring the shoulders back over, gently place the knees down. Bring the hands down underneath the shoulders, fingers spread. Let's push up into a nice cobra stretch, release those abdominals. So shoulders stay down and back, push the floor away into that nice cobra stretch. Hips stay down, stretch out through the front of the body. And then we're going to come down for some back work now. So bringing the elbows out, level with the shoulders. So there's a right angle between the elbow, head relax down onto the floor. So forehead down to the floor. Take an inhale breath as we exhale, lift the head and shoulders up, but keep the elbows down. You should feel a nice stretch across the shoulder blades there. And then inhale as we lower back down. Keeping that core switched on, pubic bone pushed down into the floor, so slightly engaging through the glutes. And inhale it back down. Feel that stretch across the shoulders as the elbows stay down to the floor. So that's level 1. Level 2, we're going to come up, we're going to hold, and then we're going to bring the elbows and forearms up from the floor. You'll feel it a little bit stronger into the back there, and then bring the elbows down and inhale it back down. So it's an exhale, lift, engage, lift, elbows and forearms up, place back down, and inhale it back down. Last level, level 3, exhale it up. We're going to stay here, lifting the elbows up, and then we're going to reach forwards and squeeze backwards. So squeezing the elbows together and forwards, really working that upper back. So work at your level, so coming into a W and then a V with the arms. W, squeeze, and V. Let's go for 4 more. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Hold it here for 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring the elbows back down. Bring the forehead back down. Well done. Now we're going to bend through the knees, lifting the feet up towards the ceiling. Level 1, we're just going with a knee bend. Level 2, we're going to grab hold at the top of the feet, get a nice hip flexor stretch in as well. So forehead down to the floor, inhale breath. As we exhale, we're going to push the feet into the hands, lifting up through the shoulders, opening up through the chest, and then inhale it back down. So it's an exhale, lift, feel that nice stretch through the front of the body, opening up the chest, lovely Kina, and inhale it back down. Nice, Julie. Let's go again. Let's go for 2 more. Lift, really open up that chest. And lower. If you haven't got the feet here, we're just going up for a knee raise and head raise, head and shoulders. And last one, inhale breath, exhale. So we're working the back of the body, stretching the front of the body, and lower it back down to the floor. Well done. Bringing the feet down, one at a time. We're going to push back up into our cobra stretch. Should feel a little bit easier after that. Lowering halfway down. Pushing up onto the knees, engaging through the core here. Sit it back into child's pose. Really lengthen through the arms, through the spine. Sit that heel back, sit that bottom back as far as we can into the heels. Nice deep breaths. Where did the time go this morning? And then we're going to come into seated and just work a nice stretch through the waist. So we're going to bring the left foot up to the inside of the right thigh. We're going to bring the hands out in front, hands together, and then pop the hands to the inside of that right leg. We're going to push into that leg as we rotate through the spine, and then bringing that hand into a salute, the hand that's in the sky to salute, sliding a bit further down the leg if we can, and just bring that elbow up and round, getting that nice rotation. See if we can go a bit deeper, keeping that elbow up towards the ceiling. And then slide that hand back up the leg. We're going to reach up towards the ceiling, and then bringing that left hand behind the body, right hand stays up, and just take it into a nice side bend stretch. Coming up onto the knees, lift those hips up if you like. Enjoy that stretch for a couple of seconds. And then bring the bottom back down to the floor. Doing exactly the same on the other side, so just switch the legs over. Left hand, the inside of that left leg. This hand out in front, we're going to reach up towards the ceiling. Take the gaze up towards the ceiling, work that rotation. Bring that right hand into a salute. And push more into that leg as we rotate through the spine. Holding it there, sliding a bit further down if we can. And then sliding back up that leg, reaching up towards the ceiling, so growing really tall with the spine. Work out my right and left now. Right hand comes behind, left arm reaches up towards the ceiling there. If you like, lift those hips up, come up onto that knee, take it into a really nice stretch the side of the body. And then bring the hips back down onto the floor. Arthur's come over, he's now nearly finished. Onto all fours, wrists underneath shoulders, knees underneath the hips, turning those toes underneath. We're going to take it up into a little knee hover, and then we're just going to push, keeping on our tiptoes, push the hips up towards the ceiling, bring that head through the arms into a nice pike position. And then we're going to rotate, bringing the heels down, hips down to one side. You should feel a really nice stretch into the side of the body there. Back up onto the tiptoes, through the center, heels come down, hips go to the side. Feel that really nice stretch. Let's go for one more to each side. Hands up and over. Hips come down, and then back, hips nice and high, and then just roll the weight back into the heel. Feel that nice stretch into the calf. Keep the knees soft though, try not to lock the legs. Nice deep breaths here. Walking the hands back towards the feet. Return the weight back to the feet. Really relax through the head, neck and shoulders there. Make the upper body feel really heavy. Nice deep breaths. On the next exhale breath, bring the tummy away from the thighs. So really scoop at the abdominals. Start to push back up into the spine. Rolling back up. And roll it back out. And then reaching the top. Couple of really big shoulder rolls. And pop those shoulders back down into the pockets. And you're done. Well done. Oh, I missed a message from someone.